let me introduce you the cast and the crew of the movie of Peter Olson Chun, WuXia. Beside of me, Jojo Hui, producer, a big legend of Hong Kong cinema, Hong Kong action cinema, Jimmy Wong Yu, actor, Donnie Yen, choreographer, action choreographer, and actor, Peter Olson Chan, director, Takeshi Kaneshiro, actor, Tang Wei, actress, Wai Ying Hung, actress, and Li Xiaoran, actress.
大家好，我是八一妈蛋的胡一汉。我的问题是给
I'm Hu Yihan from Canada. I want you to ask why you want to speak Sichuan dialect for your character.
Very challenging.
不知道。
I
其实
no,
I'm gonna say in Chinese. 其实真的不知道。
In fact, I really didn't know where the inspiration come from. At the time, I was reading the script with the director, and I didn't know what the role is for.
Every single movie.
然后应该是我找不到一个。
So I couldn't find a color or a colorful element for this character. So I remember the first sequence was to visit Tang Wei, and I felt very strange. I couldn't find the role, but the director said, "You did fine." And then I say, "Well, is that true?" And then several days later, maybe a week later, I suddenly felt, "Director, what about? Can I try dialect, which is not exactly Sichuan dialect, but more like Yunnan dialect? A lot of the local staff all speak that dialect, and it gives some colorful. So should I try this made-up language when I start speaking?" The director and I felt, yeah, they sound right. So we didn't have any reason why we did it.
云南就是因为我们在云南。
We were filming in Yunnan, that's why we pick up the Yunnan local dialect. And Sichuan, we did my hometown was Sichuan, and then I changed to Yunnan. That's why we picked Yunnan and Sichuan dialect. So are you happy with your level of Sichuan dialect? I myself can't really tell how good my Sichuan dialect is. And some of them we have to do the voiceover at the post-production. Sometimes one paragraph, I only have one pronunciation is not correct. Then I have to do it again and again many times in order to get it right. On site, it all went very fast. I didn't know what I was talking about. So Tang Wei, and they all asked me, "What are you talking about?" And I said, sorry, I'm just, saying something.
Let me add a little bit to that. I think the Sichuan accent is a very clever addition to the character. And the most important thing is for Takeshi to feel comfortable to be somebody else. And I think because of his good looks and everything, it's very difficult for him to portray this role. And I remember, one day we were joking and said, this is actually a role for Takeshi, but not for Kaneshiro. It's for Takeshi Kitano. It's really that kind of a role. And he really had a difficult time trying to be Kitano. And because he's still very much a leading man, how does he take that away? So when he came to me and said, "Can I speak with an accent?" I think the most important thing is not how good the accent is, where the accent came from, but I think that really loosened him up and get him to be somebody else. I think that's really more important than where he's from.
Thank you. Mr.
Hi, Robert McPherson from AFP. This one for Peter Chan.
Yes, please.
你好，新华社的记者，我的问题是问给汤唯小姐和
From
李小
Xinhua,
冉。
my question
因
is
为
to
这样
Tang
武侠
Wei
片呢
and
主
Li
要都是男人
Xiaoran.
的那个戏，然后两位
Action
可能
movies is always men, so you are almost like green leaves. So during the filming, is there anything interesting happens, and how are you doing in playing your roles?
大家好，我是来自。
还有一个。
对不起，对不起，对不起。
We're expecting another answer, I think.
我在这个戏里的戏
In
份很
this
少。
film, I play very minor role. I only have 4 lines, I believe.
其实，在剧组一共待了3天。
And I only stayed 3 days with the filming, from trying the costumes to filming.
遇到这么优秀的电影。
Only 3 days. I was very happy to be involved in this team.
其实更多的是在看，在学。
It's more of a learning experience for me. I was quite nervous when I arrived on the scene. That's exactly how I felt. And I very much like Takashi.
其实是这样的。其实当时
That's really true.
拍的时候，
During filming,
心跳得特别厉害。
my heart was beating very fast. I didn't know what I was talking about. I delivered the lines, but I didn't feel right. I was not really in the role because I was like floating. I was not really in the role, so I was more and more nervous. That's pretty much my experience. I hope I have not affect the influence, but our outcome was very good. Because we talk about her role a lot. I like her sequence. It's one of my favorite. A lot of the times I like to film more emphasis on male, but during her sequence with Takeshi, Xiaoran expressed very cold, but then it has emotion in it. We were discussing what to say on her last line. I will never forgive you, but I don't forgive you, but I still care for you. Then that really gets to the point. So Xiaoran really like complete. Of course, she still cares, and I think humanity does show you care. So I like the warm feeling. So I want her to play her role in a caring way. After we look at the filming, we add another character. We add, I will not forgive you, but we still care. But we add another word, I won't forgive you, but I have to care about you. We add the have to, because it looks like she cares, but she acts as if she doesn't care.
你好，我是来自南方日报的郭珊，来自广州。
From
我已经在里面
view.
加了很多多余的
It's not that I
丰富，我
hate
只是
that you
说
have added those
里面有
details.
很多地方给我们带来了惊喜。
Lots of the details gives a surprising, for example, like folk singing, cursing Takashi. So it's not me, it's Xu Baijiu, not Takashi,
我的
okay?
第二个问题。
From Japan.
Yes. Hi, my name is Ayako Ishizu from Japan for Movie Plus. This is a question for Peter Chen and Takeshi. So you two working together for last 3-4 films together, and so for Peter, so what? Why you keep using casting the Takeshi in your main character, and also for Takeshi. So what's the biggest achievement from Peter to working with? Thank you.
I think working with Takeshi is a huge challenge. And I like to be challenged. I really like to be challenged all the time. And when you work with him, every single film he keeps asking you questions because he never feels comfortable with any character. And the fact that he asks you questions actually provokes you to go further and push the envelope and push you to the edge. And I always believe that kind of collaboration, especially in on set and improvise, really helps define a film and defines a character. We were chatting a while earlier when Donnie keeps saying that you're a great director and stuff like that. my key to directing is working with actors. And the key to that is be open-minded. And I almost work like a sponge, that whatever you give me, I would take. There are directors that likes to be very authoritative, and they like to have a certain director integrity. And I think the integrity comes from your work, not comes from the way you work. So I like to be challenged all the time because I suck up all the great stuff like a sponge. And at the day's end, it's my film. It's Peter Chan's film, So I get the benefit out of it. So I really like working with Takeshi in that sense.
For me, I'm very pleased to be working with Peter. He gives me so many opportunities to be part of his movie. It's always a great honor. He said when he works with me, he likes challenge, but I also think he's a challenge as well, because every time he makes me think, why? And why I like this role. Why do I do this? He always gives me something to think about, to figure out what I need and what I want to do. So I think I can totally be involved in the creation and the production, which is a pleasure. It's a joy. As an actor, if you are only simply delivering the lines and just follow a model and you're just repeating, you simply just follow the direction. It's not very good. So I like create. Create is a enjoy. So Peter always gives me the room to create, and I enjoy making movie with him. And his film is always quite successful. So I'm lucky to be in his film. Thanks.
Another question? Yes.
Hello. Hello, Travis Chow from Hong Kong TVB, and I've got a question for Mr. Donnie Yen.
Emily Olivier from RCF Alpha. I have a question for Takeshi. How did you manage to become Kitano's character, as Peter Chan would say? What method did you use, apart from the accent? Thank you.
At the time, the director told me a lot about actors, other actors, not just Beiyu. He also like Zhou Xingci and some other big stars. And then he asked, why did you choose me then if you talk about them? Do you want a comedy? I'm not a comedian. It's not that I have an image of an actor that I want to copy. All I know is the director wants a character that is not just elegant, but a bit strange, a bit weird, and somebody who is not so good-looking. It's a bit strange character. I think that's the direction he wants.
Thank you so much. The press conference is now over. We have to thank the crews and the cast here. Thank you.